So the post that I wanted to reflect on from the past was this little Drake meme I made where, you know, that like hotline bling, where he's like, postpartum depression. Then he's just like, PMADs. What the hell is a PMAD? I didn't really know what that was until my experiencing what I'm finding out was perinatal mood anxiety disorder with my first child. Hey there, my name is Chanel Wainscott. I'm a perinatal mental health therapist and mother of two. Here to provide some food for thought on authentic parenthood and the mental health ebbs and flows that come along with it. I explained in my first video about how this channel kind of came about. That came about from just reflecting on my journey throughout parenthood, navigating private practice, juggling agency work, learning things as I go, balance between a bit of like that imposter syndrome with being a perinatal mental health therapist and a parent who's still figuring things out on the go, and realizing as we learn a bit more and have a bit of hindsight to our experiences, it can be pretty invaluable, I think, to kind of have these conversations, reflect and have a bit of self-compassion, but then also hone some creativity when it comes to navigating some of the challenges that will inevitably come up in parenthood. So to do this, I've been scrolling through my Instagram posts, starting at the very beginning when it kind of started out as an ambiguous passion project. I knew I wanted to create, I knew I wanted to provide a bit of psychoeducation. It kind of turned into a vessel where I share things that may resonate with other parents as I gain more knowledge about the intricacies of mental health and parenthood. And then blending those values of knowledge is empowerment and shame-free exploration is the name of the game for self-compassion, making it work, being authentic. So the post that I wanted to reflect on from the past was this little Drake meme I made where, you know, that like hotline bling. Where he's like, postpartum depression. Then he's just like, PMADs. And what the hell is a PMAD? I didn't really know what that was until my experiencing what I'm finding out was perinatal mood anxiety disorder with my first child. Also experienced that with my second in a different way, in a different timeline, yada yada yada. So perinatal mood and anxiety disorder is the umbrella term for the fluctuation in mood or anxiety and other aspects of mental health that can happen from preconception to beyond the first couple of years of life. I feel like it's an important distinction to be aware about because there's a bit more empowerment in knowing. You're a bit more in charge when you're aware of what your situation can look like what it is, but then also can give you a sense of normalization or humanization when you realize, okay, I'm not just making things up. I'm certain this is probably what I'm experiencing, and having that peace of mind that there are resources and support available for what I'm particularly going through, and that it may be a chapter, I think it could be helpful. Because it's more than just depression after birth. So if we use the term postpartum depression, that takes away from the fact that depression can start during a battle with challenges in fertility. Depression can start with an unplanned pregnancy, unmet expectations when the time finally comes. But then it can also just be the anxiety of it all. So for my particular experience, after birth, like things seemed groovy. Like we're doing fine, we're doing good. Looking back, there was anxiety that was just knocking right at the door from the get-go. It had a mustache and glasses on. No clue that this was something that would deteriorate my mental health. It came in the guise of being proactive. So if we're able to broaden the scope of what perinatal mood and anxiety disorders can look like, we can go in a bit more prepared. We can go in with a bit more of self-compassion when we realize okay, this isn't just a faulty thing of my own. It takes away a bit of that ambiguity. It's also very important to recognize it goes beyond the birthing parent who is affected by perinatal mood and anxiety disorder. Moms, dads, grandparents, surrogates, those trying to conceive. And it can show up in such unique ways for different people depending on their past history, their walks of life, their support systems. Hey girl, where are you going? Where are we going? The cupboard. You're back. The term disorder can pack a punch of stigma. This assumption that there's something wrong with you or you're broken. But when we look at the word or the term disorder for what it really is and defined as within this space is challenges to daily function. Anything getting in the way of daily function. And in the chapter of parenthood, there's so many things that can get in the way of your well-being, of the way you do things, of your supports, some of the tools that you kind of built for yourself, ways to cope, the tangible things, financial challenges. These things can get in the way of daily functioning. And when things aren't working for you, it is going to lead to a decline in emotional and mental health. So when you think about your daily functioning and challenges that go beyond baby blues, that can be a very helpful identifier that you are going to need to be aware of supports that can help you get through that transition. So PMADs, it encompasses a huge range of experiences that go beyond depression following birth. And even within mood and depression, there's a range in experience there. About half of women diagnosed with bipolar disorder receive this diagnosis after having a child. For some people, it's not going to look like the typical unipolar, low mood, no energy, hopelessness picture. And when you're not looking out for the other experiences within this umbrella, you can fall into the deep end. So if you're not paying attention to the other pieces of this umbrella, support at the time where it would be best needed can be missed. If there's anything I would have wished to know about perinatal mental health before becoming a parent was that there's such a bigger picture to it, depending on your walk of life, your experiences. How you will experience perinatal mood and anxiety disorder is very unique to you, while at the same time it is such a common experience in general, the bigger picture. When you look at it as being a marathon unique to you running it, but with other people running alongside you with their own journeys, probably would have made a huge difference in how I care for myself throughout that chapter. But with hindsight, it's continuously shaping the ways I ebb and flow and pivot in this journey. Thanks for accompanying me on this journey of reflection. Let me know in the comments if there is anything you wish you would have known before starting the journey of parenthood. Take care.